What is going on? Welcome to No Chill Promos. How y'all doing? Hope you're having a good Friday if you're watching this. I know I'm late. Busy week this week. Alright. Might be even busier next week or weeks to come. So I'll try to get these videos out as much as I can. But before I get into this review for AEW's Dynamite for this week, I just gotta do a quick shout out to all subscribers to the channel and to the followers on Rumble. Still at 145 subs, 5 more, I'm at 150, and 50 more, I'll drop that 5 through 10 favorites of all time video. So until then, I'm gonna keep on going. Gains don't stop. Alright? But let's get into it. At first, we have the match that I want to see the most. Why this was the first match, I have no fucking clue. Alright? But you got Nigel McGuinness versus Bryan Danielson. Alright? Years in the making. Last match that they had was back in 2009. A long fucking time. Alright, but I'll get into Nigel's career later on. Alright? But this was easily the best match of the night. Not even fucking close. Nigel comes out to Fucking in the Bushes by Oasis. Which I was like, oh shit, he really did come out to Oasis. He wasn't playing. I like that. It would have been hilarious if he would have came out to Wonderwall by Oasis. You're my Wonderwall. That would have been hilarious. I'm not gonna lie to you. My Oasis got some hits. They do. But he comes out, he was like, I haven't seen Crying Brian all day. And if he doesn't come out here right now, referee, you're gonna count to 10 and you're gonna strip Bryan Danielson of the AEW World title. The ref starts to count down, and then we see final countdown begins. Danielson comes out, the crowd goes crazy. And the match officially begins. Alright, and even before they lock up, you see the crowd starting to go crazy. Alright. Mainly, they're chanting for Danielson, obviously, because he's one of the biggest baby faces in wrestling right now. And I know for a lot of fans that grew up watching ROH, like watching like all their matches between these two in the early stages of ROH. I know this like was a surreal moment for you guys. Alright. Like I didn't get to start watching ROH. My like first memory of really watching this shit was back in I don't even know which year, but it was when Adam Cole was champion. It was with the Kingdom, with Taven and Mike Bennett and Maria Kanellis. That's like the earliest memories I have of watching ROH. Like watching guys like him and like Michael Elgin and the Decade, but like fucking BJ Whitmer and Jimmy Jacobs. Like that's the shit I remember watching. Like I didn't watch the CM Punk era, the fucking Tyler Black era. I didn't get to watch that shit. But I went back and seen some of the matches, you know what I mean? Especially that Samoa Joe back then, because he was a fucking man, right in ROH. Alright, that was peak Samoa Joe right there, 100%. Alright, but I digress. Let's get into the match. Lots of chain wrestling to start off the match, which you love to see. I never get tired of seeing chain wrestling, especially chain wrestling as well executed as it was in this match. You see what I'm saying? Fast forward, Danielson hits a nasty overhand slap to Nigel. Fast forward again, Danielson hits like a kick around like the upper thigh area to Nigel, but Nigel sold it like he got hit in the nuts. Alright, fast forward, Nigel does like a full bounce, so like a kind of like a, instead of doing like a ground and pound, he just did like he was just slapping him around. Fast forward, Danielson counters it, managed to lock in the lapel lock, but Nigel gets his foot on the rope. And we're going to fast forward again. On the outside, we see Nigel hitting the drop toe hold to Danielson on the steel steps. I'm always apprehensive about spots like this, like using the steel steps during like a regular match. Because I'm like fucking Jesse Ventura to McMahon. But why was that not a DQ, McMahon? That was a foreign object. But when the fast forward, we see both Nigel and Danielson, they have their arms wrapped around the post, which is like a callback to some of their early matches in ROH. Alright, where they both use the turnbuckle as a weapon to each other. Cool spot here. fast forward, we see Danielson hitting those repeated kicks to Nigel in the corner, follows up with a snap double underhook suplex. Or at least that's what Taz called it for a 2 count. Fast forward, we see Danielson hitting the psycho knee to Nigel for the 2 count. Fast forward again, see Danielson hits those kicks that he always does, the repeated kicks to the chest, and does a roundhouse kick, kind of like the buzzsaw kick that Tajiri does. Fast forward, we see Nigel, he does like a handstand on top of the turnbuckle. I'm not that familiar with his moveset, so I don't know exactly what move he was going for, but Danielson tries to counter it, and this visual is crazy. It looks like Danielson broke this man's neck. Shit looked crazy, but Danielson hits like a forearm strike to Nigel. Nigel then counters into the final cut for the 2 count. So we're gonna fast forward again. We see, and mind you, Nigel's been working on Danielson's right arm the entire fucking match. That's what he does, right? He will go after that fucking arm, right? So he tells Danielson, "Come on, hit me," like he's fucking Joker from the Dark Knight. You know what I mean? Danielson, like the idiot that he is, hits him with his bad arm. So he sells it, and then Nigel laughs at him, just like I was laughing at him. Like, what a dumbass. In kayfabe, obviously. But fast forward, we see Nigel hitting that rebound clothesline to Danielson. And nobody does that move better than Nigel. Moxley, fuck no. Kyle O'Reilly, fuck no. No. This is the man that does it the best right here. So he hits the clothesline, but Danielson kicks out at 1. And like I feel the same way the fucking Nigel does here. Like, you gotta be kidding me. This is like 15 minutes into the match, mind you. This dude's kicking out at 1. Fucking crazy. But we're gonna fast forward. We see Nigel hits the ripcord lariat for another 2 count. Right? And fast forward again. We see Nigel. He does like these. He does the elbows that Danielson does. So he does the elbows to Danielson, picks his ass up into the Tower of London. That was a 6th spot, but it gets a 2 count. All right, so it was like right there, you already knew that. Yeah, Nigel ain't winning. All right, that should have been it right there. Gonna fast forward, we see Nigel again working on that right arm of Danielson, and I don't even know what the fuck you call this move, but it looked fucking devastating. We're gonna fast forward again. We see Nigel, he does a psycho knee of his own. And then Danielson was gonna go for the rebound clothesline, but Nigel said nah, and hits a nasty fucking lariat to Danielson for a 2 count. This was sick. Both guys were down, but Danielson manages to lock in the Rebel Lock, just how Nigel landed off of that lariat that he did. Alright, then we fast forward, we see Nigel saying thank you. Then he taps out. It's still the AEW World Champion, Bryan Danielson. And I just want to stop and take some time out to say thank you to Nigel McGuinness. This is a man that had years of his career taken from him, unfortunately, due to contracting the hepatitis. I don't know, it was A or B. I'm not sure. I think it was A. Might have been B. I'm not sure offhand, but he went on record to say that he stopped wrestling not just because of the hepatitis shit. It's because he wasn't making enough money. He wasn't making jack shit in ROH. He didn't want to go back to TNA because TNA dropped the ball on Desmond Wolfe. There's no reason why he couldn't have been a TNA World Champion at some point. They sure as fuck could use him right now. That's for damn sure. But instead of going back as Desmond Wolfe, he goes back as Nigel McGuinness, one of the former longest reigning ROH champions of all time. And as far as the WWE, they didn't even want him. So like, if you can't make money, then what's the point of wrestling? Like, that's what should matter the most, in my opinion. Like, fuck a championship. Like, I'm trying to keep a roof over my head. I'm trying to keep my refrigerator stocked full of food. Like, I got fucking bills to pay. I'm trying not to starve out here. I don't give a fuck about being some mid-card champion. All right, and it sucks that Nigel couldn't make a living and something that he loves so much. It does. I can't imagine how shitty that must feel. But I am glad that he finally got his moment right here in AEW. All right, as much as people shit on AEW, and rightfully so, including me, there are more times than not I do shit on AEW for a lot of the goofy, retarded shit that they do. This was a good move right here. So big ups to Con Man for making this happen. And one last thing, I know this match was over 20 minutes. The thing is that it didn't feel like it was over 20 minutes. All right, that's how you know you're watching a good fucking match. There's more times than not, like I'm watching these matches and it does feel like this shit's just dragging on. Like, end this shit already, man. Like, why the fuck did he kick out of a fucking avalanche gorilla press slam? For fuck's sake, you gotta be shitting me. You know what I mean? Shit like that. But no, this was done. It was a great match, right? And both these two have fucking impeccable chemistry. So big ups to Legendas and Danielson for putting on a banger. All right, but before Danielson can truly celebrate, we'll see the arrival of the patriarch of AEW, Mr. Christian Cage. And before he can sign that contract, which guarantees him a shot at the AEW World title, we see Kip the Stalker creeping up and stealing this man's pen. Runs off like the bitch that he is. Christian then chases after him. He goes back in a gorilla position and he stops and he sees Claudio and Pac just standing there for whatever reasons, for whatever random reason. And he was like, nope. Look, he continues on. And that's how that shit ends. And now we move on to a match that I give zero fucks about. I don't care about Hook versus Roderick Strong. And you know why? Because there's not a chance in hell that Roderick is going over here tonight. So I'm just gonna fast forward to the finish. Alright. This is after Roderick hits like a gut buster using the chair, then hits the sick kick, tries to set up the end of Heartache to Hook. Hook counters into the Red Rum, aka Murder, aka the Kata Hajime, for the submission. Alright. And still the FTW champion, Hook. After the match, we see Undisputed Kingdom showing love to Hook, shaking his hand, putting them over, which is unexpected. Alright. But there's a reason for why this happened. Alright. But fast forward, we see Hook cutting a promo. He said he just wants to take this time out to thank all the wrestlers that ever defended this belt and to thank all the fans for watching. But as they say, all good things must come to an end, and officially the FTW belt is retired.
Hallelujah! 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 And amen! Amen!
And you notice how the crowd cheered? Because it's about fucking time. Okay? Like, FTW belt had his time in the sun, you know? Like, it had its moments, but as Damian Priest always says, you're done. You're washed. It's over. So Hook hands off the belt to Taz. They have a father and son hug moment there from the crowd. Where the fuck they're at, I don't know. Doesn't matter. But, just a feel-good moment. Alright, because, the FTW championship is done. That's it. And I think that's the reason why Roderick and the Undisputed Kingdom went out their way to put over Hook, because they were a part of the last official match for the FTW title. And I hope and I pray that this belt never, ever comes back. Alright? Let sleeping dogs lie where they lay. Alright? Leave it alone. It's over. Okay? So this was good. I appreciate this. So, but we move on. Next, we get a tag team match for the AEW tag team titles with the Young Bucks versus Will Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher. And again, this is another match that I don't get two fucks about. And you know why? It's because of the Young Bucks. I'm not. Miss me with the whole no selling. We're just gonna go for spot for spot, high flying shit. No selling this. Fuck that. Nah, I ain't got time for that shit. I'm good. And fast forward to the finish. Basically, Don Callis hands Kyle Fletcher a screwdriver. He was gonna use it on I think it was Matt Jackson, but Will Ospreay stops him and he was like, "What are you doing, bruv? No." And then Kyle was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Fast forward, Young Cucks hit their double super kick into the BTE trigger for the 1, 2, 3. And still, the AEW Tag Team Champions, the Young Cucks. Shocker. Who could have seen that coming? And then we see after the fact, we see Kyle looking at Ospreay. He was like, why? Why, man? Why? Like, sorry, Kyle, alright? But you ain't winning those belts with Ospreay. Ospreay damn sure doesn't fucking need it right now. Alright, he's still the international champion. Alright? And until most likely they might have Ricochet beat him. I wouldn't be surprised. But if not, then fucking what happens with Ricochet? Like, what do? You know? But whatever, that's for another conversation for another day. Alright, but that's all that happened here, so we move on. Next, we get a promo from the conglomeration. Rocky Romero showing off the new conglomeration t-shirt that I'm damn sure not gonna buy. Or do I know anyone that's gonna wear that shirt? Alright, but we get a promo from my nigga, Mark Briscoe. He was like, you see the conglomeration wearing their new merch hot off the presses, get it now at whatever AEWshop.com, which no one's gonna buy. But let me break down to you why I'm wearing them boys shirt. Because I'm feeling the energy, because just 5 miles from Arthur Ashe Stadium, them boys officially had their last match. The baddest tag team of all time. So on Collision, we're gonna give the Learning Tree a them boy style ass whooping, a Jay Briscoe style ass whooping. And then before he continues, Kyle O'Reilly stops him. He was like, wait, Mark, what's the word of the day? He's like, oh shit. That's right, thank you, Kyle. The word of the day is vociferous. And then Kyle was like, meaning noisy. Mark was like, just like the crowd here in Queens, New York, and just like the crowd that's gonna be at Collision, we're gonna give the Learning Tree an ass whooping upside the tree and downside the tree. Man, Mark is that dude, man. And rest in peace to Jay Briscoe. But that's it for this segment, and we move on. Next, we get a promo from Prince Nana. He comes out, he says, it's good to see all the fans here in New York City. Whose house? Swerve's house. Alright, crowd says it. And Nana was like, look, I'm not gonna lie to you. Swerve is still healing from his injuries. Alright? But it won't be long because you can't keep down the most dangerous man in AEW. Whose house? And before he continues, he gets interrupted by Mr. Montel Vontavious Porter, aka Mr. MVP. Alright, and the crowd was like, oh shit. They're like, yo, that's one of those, it was like a pop, it was more like a shock, like a genuine, like, yo, oh shit, he's here. Like, I was surprised too. I'm like, yo, he's actually, they're doing this. They're gonna do this shit in AEW. Okay, hey, they got my full support. You know, this is Con Man's chance to do something that Vinnie Mac, Triple H, failed to fucking do. And that's give Hurt Business the proper push that they fucking deserve. So Con Man, balls in your court, man. Don't fuck it up. MVP says sorry for the intrusion. Alright, but nah, everything you said about Swerve is true. I know just how good he is. Alright, I know how legendary his title reign was. He had victories over guys like Samoa Joe, Roderick Strong, Christian Cage, Will Ospreay. Like, they're going to be talking about his title reign for generations to come. But I've also seen what Tony Schiavone was talking about. I've seen how he lost the AEW World title to Bryan Danielson at All Out. I also seen how his childhood home, which he grew up in, was burned down to the ground. And why is it that the man that burned his house to the ground is out here smiling? Alright, but why is it that his ass is not in the goddamn ICU? And I'm not blaming it on Swerve. No. I know exactly how good Swerve is. I'm blaming it on you. Alright, for not getting the job done while you're too busy out here dancing, shucking and jiving for all these people out here. Alright, so do me a favor. When Swerve's ready to elevate his career and be back on the top of the mountain where he belongs, you give him this card. And when he's ready, he can call me so we can discuss business. And that's it. The crowd popped for that. So yeah, that's it for this segment. And real quick, like, I don't know about Swerve joining the Hurt Business. All right, because mainly I want to see Powerhouse Hobbs. He's the one that I want to shine the most, to get the most attention here from this formation of the new Hurt Business. All right, whether it's MVP Lashley, Shelton if he comes along, and then Powerhouse Hobbs, that's good. It's good right there. But if Swerve joins too, and it's like MVP, Lashley, Hobbs, and Swerve, I mean, that's cool too, I guess. But I want Hobbs to get the push. All right, because it still pisses me off. And I got to do that video eventually of his mistreatment here in AEW. It's crazy. Like, how the fuck is he not a world champion right now? And that's why I'm so opposed to someone like Darby Allin winning the world championship. I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Yeah, you're gonna have Darby win the AEW world title before guys like Powerhouse Hobbs, before guys like Malachi Black, before guys like Christian Cage, Adam Copeland, for instance. Get the fuck out of here. Nah. Out of your fucking mind. Right? Like, yeah, matter of fact, there's no way he's gonna win that fucking belt before Ospreay. Not gonna happen. So yeah, the point is, they got me intrigued, and I hope this leads to a push for Powerhouse Hobbs. All right, I already know Lashley's coming, but I already don't see him winning the AEW World title. Even though I'll be all for it, you know, don't get me wrong, because maybe Common will give Lashley an AEW World title push, but I doubt it. All right, person I want to see get the world title the most is Powerhouse Hobbs. That's that simple. So we shall see how things progress, but I'm definitely intrigued in this storyline right here. All right, but we move on. Next, we see a little video package of the Jungle Jobber, Jack Perry, driving his Jeepers Creepers box truck or van or whatever across the Williamsburg Bridge. No one cares. Right, but I'm about to watch the match because I will be doing a review for Grand Slam on Collision. A rare Collision review. Even though I believe Collision is better, slightly better than Dynamite. That's mainly because of Nigel on commentary. It's just, more times than not, I just don't feel like watching shit. And it's just, like, oh, man. It really depends on who's on the card, if I'm going to watch it. But I'll get to that later on. Next, we get the title match for the AEW Women's World Title. Alright, we have the Glamour, the sexy-ass Mariah May, defending it against Yuka Sakazaki. And before she can even finish her entrance, we see Yuka coming off doing a springboard body splash, saying, fuck that. Fuck your entrance. Hilarious. Fast forward, they're slapping the shit out of each other, but Yuka hits the rolling elbow to Mariah May. Fast forward, we see Mariah hits the shotgun dropkick to Yuka on the outside. Fast forward, we see Mariah hits that spinning sidewalk slam that she does to Yuka. Fast forward, we see Yuka doing some type of like leg scissor hold to Mariah there on the corner. I don't know what you call it. And neither did fucking commentary. So fast forward, we see Yuka hits a backslide pin. 1, 2, 3. This woman did not kick out. If you go back and watch this shit, Mariah May does not kick out before 3. So really, we should have a new AEW Women's World Champion, Yuka Sakazaki. All right. She got fucked over because Mariah May failed to kick out. This was on her. Her ass did not kick out. But to the point where Yuka had to like fucking pull her over. I'll be like, fuck you doing, man? She pulls her over, does like the gator roll, I think that's what that shit's called, and now she kicks out. Like, you couldn't do that shit 20 seconds ago? Like, not good. Not a good look. Alright? And the crowd caught that shit too, because Taz was like, oh. Like, yeah, was right. But they did recover. So we're gonna fast forward. Mariah hits a high angle German suplex to Yuka. And fast forward again, we see Yuka hits the Northern Lights bomb to Mariah May. She goes up for the springboard body splash that she does. but Mariah counters. She said that nasty fucking running knee of hers to the Storm Zero for the 1, 2, 3. And still the AEW Women's World Champion, even though she shouldn't be because she couldn't kick out from backslide pin, Mariah May. Alright. And then after the fact, we see Mariah, she's going to attack Yuka Sakazaki some more, but Willow Nightingale comes out for the save. Who was looking good, by the way. I ain't gonna hold you. She was looking good out there tonight. But she the only one that comes out because we see the Titantron for Mina Shirakawa. And just like the idiot that Willow is, she gets distracted and turns her back on Mariah May. So Mariah takes the opportunity to go upside her head with the AEW Women's World title. Like, stupid. It's like I was saying, it's like Randy Orton said, just stupid. Why would you turn your back on her? A lot of dumbass kayfabe choices being made here tonight. Fast forward, we see Mariah celebrating with Mina. Mina was like, oh shit, I didn't mean to do that. She's like, I am so sorry. Yuka ain't trying to hear it, and she goes after Mariah May, but she runs off and Mina stops her. And then that's it. And now we move on to the main event, and that's to determine the new #1 contender for the AEW World Championship. We got Jon Moxley versus Darby Allin. And there's ain't no way in hell Darby was going over here tonight. Alright? And got Mox, who's arguably, he's in the best shape of his fucking career. Like, Brub's out there looking super lean out there. He looks in great shape. So we get the match between Mox and Darby. Darby charges at Mox. Mox, all he has to do is just lift up his right leg and does big boo to Darby Allin. Fast forward, we see Mox does a heel to Darby to the turnbuckle. Fast forward, this time he does a hard Irish whip to Darby, but this motherfucker goes flying. He goes through the turnbuckle. Cool little spot here, I ain't gonna lie. Alright, fast forward, we see Darby. He has kind of like a, I don't know what the fuck you call it. It's like a heat seeker cannonball move to Mox on the outside, but the way where he accelerates is fucking crazy. Alright, Darby's quick. Alright, don't get it twisted, man. You got some speed on him. But we see Marina Shafir getting in the way, and they're doing the whole, like, oh, I'm a woman, you can't put hands on me. And even if you do, I'll kick your ass because I have actual fighting experience, and your ass doesn't. So that's the story being told here. Fast forward, see Moxley takes advantage. He has a scoop slam onto Darby onto the ring apron. Fast forward, we see him working on the arm there, smashes his fucking head into the fucking turn post. Alright, fast forward, it's a stalling pile driver. He held him up there for at least probably like a good 15 seconds. Kicks out at 2, he switches to the bulldog choke where Darby manages to get to the rope. Fast forward, we see Marina Shafir kicking these shit at Darby Allin while Moxley distracts the referee. Fast forward, we see Darby try to get some offense back, hits the Stun Dog Millionaire into the missile drop kick to Moxley, who was sitting on a chair on the outside. Fast forward, we see a drop kick from Moxley. And I'm like, yo, I can't remember the last time this motherfucker did a drop kick. Hot damn. That's how you know Moxley was into this match. Fast forward, see Darby hitting the Fujiwara armbar to Moxley, but Moxley gets out of it. Fast forward, he does the Kurt Angle spot where he puts the person up on the turnbuckle, punches, but in this case he slaps the shit out of Darby and he falls out into the outside. Right? I always loved that spot when Kurt did it, so that was cool to see here. Fast forward, we see Marina. She exposes the fucking wood on the outside, like a Darby's dumbass tries to do a tope suicida. Like, and Moxley dodges and he just crashes into the outside onto the wood, mind you. Like, this dude's back is gonna be fucked up, man. Like, I would not want to be this dude when he turns fucking 40. Like, you can tell this man does not want to live long. That's for damn sure. All right, then fast forward, we see Moxley hits a release suplex onto Darby onto the top of the steel steps. All right, fast forward again. He does like a sleeper hole into a body scissors, then transitions into a bulldog choke. And it looks like at one point, Darby's want to go to sleep, but he doesn't. He says psych, and you can see the little ketchup / Cheeto fucking little ooze coming out from Darby's mouth, whatever the fuck that was. Nasty. Shit I don't need to see, but I get it. You know, they're trying to sell like it's a high impact match. Yeah, I got you. Fast forward, we see Moxley hits the Avalanche Paradigm Shift or Death Rider DDT, whatever the fuck you want to call it, for the 1, 2, 3. And that's it. So your number one contender is now Jon Moxley. Alright. But you know, before he talks his shit, we see Bryan Danielson coming out and starts to choke these shit out of Moxley. Alright, and then we see here you got Danielson choking Moxley, you got Marina trying to choke fucking Danielson. Alright, then the rest of the BCC come out and they're trying to pull fucking Danielson off of fucking Moxley here. Alright, and then we see Private Party and the Commander come now to help Bryan Danielson here. But fucking Private Party, they get their asses kicked again by the BCC. Alright, but we go back, like Danielson is trying to hit the Psycho knee to Moxley, but Claudio saves him. Alright, and Buck Danielson was like, hey, look, you want war, Mox? Look, you got it. I declare war. In that Wrestle Dream, I'm gonna kick your fucking head in. So yeah, that's it for AEW Dynamite this week. Alright. I don't feel like giving it the point system. I really don't care. Who gives a fuck? I don't need, like, I enjoyed the opener between Danielson and McGuinness. I enjoyed the FTW title be retired for good. Thank God for that. Alright, I enjoyed the collaboration promo. I liked the match between fucking Mariah and Yuka. You know, there's that huge botch in the middle of it, but I still enjoyed it for the most part. And I enjoyed the main event. So, and then I enjoyed the debut of MVP. Alright, so that's gonna lead to more things to come. So this was a decent episode overall, I must say. And shout out to Westside Gun and DJ Who Kid who were there ringside, which I forgot to mention that earlier, but they're basically fucking regulars at this fucking point. Especially Westside Gun. That nigga is always there ringside watching fucking wrestling. I know he's a huge wrestling fan, so big ups to him. But yeah, that's all I gotta say about this shit. So if you watched this week's episode of Dynamite, let me know how you feel. Love it, hate it, comment, subscribe to the channel, it's all the same to me. I'm gonna keep on doing this shit regardless. Right, slowly but surely. And I'm doing this shit with zero fucking social media promotion. Like, I made a fucking TikTok fucking profile for this account for my YouTube channel, right? But I've yet to post a single thing on that website, man, or app. I can't do it. Can't fucking do it, man. But yeah, I just want to see the engagement and the feedback from you guys, the people who watch this shit on the regular. Alright? So as far as the next video, I'm gonna be doing a TNA review, and this week's episode was good. So I got a lot of things to say about that shit. But I'll get to that in the next video. So with that said, wasting enough of your guys' time. Be safe, be blessed, take care of yourself, trust in God. I'm out of here. Till next time, adios.